One of the biggest comics in the country thinks the woke mind virus killed comedy. Conan O'Brien is blasting the way his fellow liberal late-night host handled the Trump era. The way he explains it, instead of trying to be funny, they were more interested in pushing a political agenda.
I was never as comfortable with comedy where I needed to make a point about something. So I always thought that when Trump came along, what a lot of people have to revert to is, doesn't he suck? I hate that guy. And those aren't jokes. And so I think it's just, I'm really going out on a limb here saying that's his greatest crime. No, I think he's hurt political comedy by being so outlandish himself.
And Bill Maher is no stranger to taking on the woke mob. The left-wing comic is also taking a swipe at his late-night competitors for pandering to liberal audiences.
It's not a take. Those guys don't have takes. I have takes. I have a take on things. What they do is say exactly what a liberal audience wants them to say about that. That's not a take. I'm not saying it's not sincere. I guess it is on their part. But even if it wasn't, that's what they would do. There's never a moment where you don't know exactly, oh, this is the correct point of view on that.
Maher just announced that his show will be returning despite the writer's strike. And that's not sitting very well with ultra-liberal blowhard Keith Olbermann. He's trashing Bill Maher as a, quote, scumbag for bringing his show back. All right, Greg, I think you're the natural first on this one as a fellow late-night host of Conan and Maher. Do you agree that the focus on Trump has pretty much destroyed comedy?
Yeah, and also Richard Nixon destroyed the art of juggling. You know, Olbermann is getting worked up because that's the only work he's getting. Here's the bigger issue here with all of this. With comedy or anything, or this show, you have to participate in all parts of life, not just the clique or the bubble or the sect that you're in. And I think that was their big mistake. They turned their back on half the country because Trump made them cry, and over words, not deeds. I mean, what Conan said, that the most outlandish crime Trump did was his behavior, not his deeds. The economy didn't matter. The fact that there were no wars didn't matter. But did you see his mean tweet? I can't sleep. That's not funny. My show's successful because we go at everything, including not just my guests like Piers, who's on tonight, but also me. I'm my biggest target, and that we hold everybody to the fire. And it's amazing that this is the funniest time to be alive. Yes. I mean, we talk about it later tonight about wokeism is like the biggest, funniest thing ever. But Joe Biden is a perfect target. Hunter's a perfect target. Nancy Pelosi, the city's dissent in this criminal farce, is a target. Climate change wackos, gender Nazis. All of this stuff is ripe for comedy. But to these guys, it's Trump or it's nothing. And instead, you have comedians that are actually crying on air or doing propagandizing videos for vaccines. That's why I think late night is in a chaos. Except here, the knives are out for Fallon. They're going after Bill Maher because I think he's doing the right thing. He's doing the right. He is saying we are hurting all of these other people, the caterers, you name it, whatever, because the writers are upset. And meanwhile, you got these other dingleberries, these other hosts. They're doing Zoom calls together like they're doing a staff meeting during COVID. I mean, how pathetic is that? I think I like Conan, but he's a little late to this party. We've been talking about this forever. It takes him 3 years to figure things out, whether it's, education, crime, or immigration, whatever. We're always waiting for them to catch up. They're like your simple little brother. Don't you have a simple little brother?
I've got two simple little brothers. I hope I never see this.
Okay, well, let's go to you, Piers. I mean, look, they're pandering, the left is pandering to their political audiences, and they don't have actual takes, according to Bill Maher. So do you agree with him, or?
Well, I've got to say, ironically, one of the funniest things I've heard, actually, in years, is Keith Olbermann describing Bill Maher as selfish and unfunny and a scumbag. This coming from a guy who, in my personal experience of years of interacting with Keith Olbermann, is not only a selfish little also deeply unfunny, possibly the unfunniest person in America, and indisputably a massive scumbag. So there's irony there. But no, I think, look, we were talking about this on Greg's show tonight. The truth is, the material about the woke crowd is obviously hilarious, right? It's funnier than anything else out there. You can't out-funny Trump. When he wants to be, he's funnier than all of them put together. But you take like the Bidens, for example, just the material around the Bidens. I speak as a British person here, okay? It is objectively hilarious to see that you ran 250 years ago, you ran our monarchy out of town. You sent Mad King George packing, right? And now, because you didn't like the way he ruled you, and now you have a guy in charge who keeps falling over, who everything he says makes no sense, who can barely remember what day it is. And I simply say to you, Prince William's flying into New York on Monday. It is not too late, America. It is not too late, because if you think what you've got now is better than what we gave you under Mad King George, you are living in cloud cuckoo land. Bring back your monarchy. I'll even pitch my own hat into the ring. And honestly, could you be any worse than under this farce? It is a farce. I look at Joe Biden and I think, America, how are you letting this happen? And the idea he runs again?
Yeah.
And runs again for another 4 years of this? It's ridiculous. So my point to the woke comedians is there's your comedy. Every single day you should be leading on this stuff, but they can't because they're trapped in that mindset that this is actually what you're seeing with your own eyes is not happening. They're blind to the reality, which is comedically funny, but also for Americans, deadly serious. That's my point.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll all run over to Prince William now.
He's going to be staying up there. You can get him back.
Okay.
King William of America.
Only if he dumps that broad.
No way.
No, he's the good guy.
Oh,
No, Prince William,
Not
not
Harry.
Harry.
You Brits all look alike.
They all sound
All right. You know, Jesse, if it weren't for Trump, these people wouldn't have anything to talk about. Where would comedy be now with this woke group?
What happened was Colbert came in at CBS, and he came from The Daily Show. So he had those Jon Stewart chops, and he was a natural political guy. And then he came in and his ratings went up. And Kimmel said, oh, my gosh, I have to start getting political. And Kimmel loved Obama. And his son had a little health issue, and he started getting into these little things with Ted Cruz. And then he became a political guy. And Fallon is the least political guy out there and resisted going political and is also the most talented, but then was pushed into politics by executives. He didn't want to go political. And so all of them go political, and then Trump leaves, the pandemic happens, and then there's the writer's strike, and then someone named Greg Gutfeld comes along, and all of their
King Greg.
audience,
The king of late night.
their audience is looking around like, what happened? Where are all the jokes? And the jokes are nowhere because they can't poke fun at Biden. Now, if you think about Biden, this is a guy who went to Maui and said, you know what? I had a kitchen fire and I almost lost my cat. This is a guy whose son is in his underwear with a cocked gun and a stripper. This is Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris's husband kissed the first lady. This is Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He puts a little helmet on and a reflecting vest and goes to East Palestine. There is a wealth of jokes in this administration. The administration is a joke. But if you could just kind of lay off the politics, you could bring it back. Not that Greg wants it back, but you could bring it back.
No.
Shannon, do you see the entertainment industry recovering from this? I mean, and being actually funny again and non-political?
What I love that's funny, I think, is that they found a way to blame President Trump for their industry falling apart. I do think comedy that's super obvious, no matter who the target is really not that funny. You got to think it through like Greg does. You got to have, 5 steps ahead playing chess with this stuff.
This is like my birthday.
We love you. King Greg, but I think about, okay, for me, Babylon Bee, hilarious. It's satire that gets checked by fact-checking sites, which to me is satirical in itself that they do this. But they actually have a section of their website called Prophecies Fulfilled, where they've made up such ridiculous stories that have now actually come true in real life. So, when it hits close to home and it takes a little effort to put it together, I think that's much funnier than the obvious 1-2 punch.
Yeah, the political punch.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.